If you were not loyal to black people before you got rich, you definitely will not be loyal to black people after you get rich. But let's go further. During slavery, when a rebellious slave misbehaved, what would they do? They would put him out in front of all the slaves, and they would whip him and tar and feather him and lynch him as a message to the others. Every generation, white America makes a sacrifice of a black celebrity. Look at your entire life. I've been on the planet 45 years. Every generation of my life, every decade, white America finds a celebrity that they put out and destroy them as a reminder to LeBron and Oprah and Lee Daniels and Tyler Perry and everyone else. Jay-Z, Beyonce, don't forget, you might be a billionaire, but remember who helped you make that money. At the end of the day, y'all got the money, but we got the power. That's why they don't mind signing a $100 million contract. Because everybody in your circle is white. Your agent is white. Your lawyer is white. Your publicist is white. Your banker is white. The person selling you the car is white. So do you know what a black celebrity really is? He's a water sprinkler. He's a redistributor of white wealth. Because you can't use that money to help your own people. The reason they don't help us is because the white man has made it clear. Number one, white people will not support black people who are loyal to black folks. You cannot become a popular celebrity in America if you are unapologetic. It's impossible. You must do what? Compromise yourself in the presence of white folk. You must be an acceptable Negro. If you are not an acceptable Negro, they will destroy.
Wow, 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 wow. I just want to blow the siren nonstop. I saw this clip and I'm like, no, we're talking about this 100%. We're talking about this. If you are not an acceptable Negro, they would destroy you. If you are not playing on their team, they would destroy you. That is what being an acceptable black person have to be. You have to play by their rules. You have to walk by the book. You have to, do things that make them comfortable. You have to, act a certain way, not anger them. If not, you are just going to be a nobody. And we see that on the continent as well. We see that on the continent, but we're going to get there. Sometimes when we talk about these issues, I get some black people, I would say more Africans are talking about how, if you're not being too dramatic, how unfortunately Africans are living in this bubble that we are going to try to get them out of, because we need to stay awake. A lot of us are still sleeping. We need to wake them up, because TikTok says the time we do not have forever. These people are closing in on destroying us, silencing us across all platforms, in real life and online, by the way. When I say Africans are living in a bubble, I mean that literally when it comes to Africans, understanding truly the nature of white people living in a bubble, literally Africans. But there is, of course, an exception to South Africans, because black South Africans have been dealing with white people since, they came and discovered South Africa. Yeah, you know how that went. They came, no one was there, and they discovered it. So black South Africans are Africans that understand the white man way differently and better than other Africans. Dr. Umar Johnson is spitting a lot of facts here, and we do need to pay keen attention to what he is saying. I have said a couple of times that we need to strategize how we move as black people. It's very important. First of all, understanding how these people move so we know how we can move to counter each and every one of their moves. You see that part where Dr. Umar says they do not mind signing with you $100 million contract, because at the end of the day, everybody around you is white. So really, when you think about it, they might be giving you that ton of money, but they know the money is coming back to their community at the end of the day. And this is something we've lightly touched on here on the channel, but we do need to touch on it a lot more than we have, which is the circular flow of income, how sacrosanct it is to have our money circulate within our community. And this is something that I am presently paying more attention into. Now I'm thinking, who am I buying from? Who owns this? Where would this money get to at the end of the day? Like, who am I making bloody rich? Who am I giving my money to? It's very important, and I'm paying keen attention to it right now. So let's circle back to the original points of this video, which is how they get you up there and at the end of the day they still have the power and they can remove you. And how I said earlier that this is something that we see in Africa as well. A lot of times in Africa, like I've said in previous videos, we like to talk about how our politicians or our rulers are not doing good by us, but there are a lot of underlying factors why things are as bad as they are. And this is not to excuse our politicians. I call those people hoodlums, especially the ones in Nigeria, trash. But times and times over, leaders in Africa have been killed basically because of the fact that these people try to stray away and do something contrary to what the white folks want them to do. These people have in the past tried to want to do good for Africa, want to do better for the people on the continent, want to build Africa. And if these people come out and want to do these things, they get them literally out of the picture, because Africa getting better is not to the benefit of the Western world. So we don't only see these things going on in the entertainment industry, we also see this going on the continent as well. So it's a very, very deep issue. It's scary really when you try to really look deep down into it.
Most Africans were told that Muammar Gaddafi was killed because he was a dictator and a terrorist. But were those really the reasons behind his assassination? Libya was sinking in poverty before Gaddafi, but after Gaddafi became the president, Libya became one of the richest countries in Africa. After making Libya's GDP per capita the highest in Africa, he wanted to unite Africans into the United States of Africa. He then went ahead to demand a compensation of $777 trillion from all countries that colonized Africa as payment for the 400 years of slavery that Africans went through in their hands. Gaddafi also strengthened ties with neighboring countries such as Egypt, Morocco, Syria, Tunisia, Chad, amongst others, as well as maintaining close relations with countries like France and Russia. He also connected with Latin American countries such as Venezuela and Cuba, which led him to cultivate an intensive network of contacts and uncomfortable influence for Europe and the United States. Gaddafi was becoming a threat, so through divide and rule, they assassinated him.
Here's some news that you guys should actually know about, because we know the media won't ever cover this. This is John Magufuli, former president of Tanzania, died March 17th, 2021. This is Hamed Bakayoko, former prime minister of the Ivory Coast, dead March 10th, 2021. This is Jovenel Moïse, former president of Haiti, died July 7th, 2021. This is Pierre Amadou Kali, the former prime minister of Ivory Coast, died June 6, 2020. This is Ambrose Dlamini, former president of Eswatini, died December 13th, 2020. This is Andry Rajoelina, president of Madagascar, and he just survived an assassination attempt. Can you guess what they all had in common, except for all dying within a year of each other? They all denied the vaccines in their country. I'm sure it's just a coincidence.
Like you said, if you are unapologetic, if you say the things you want to say, if you move how you want to move, if you spend your money how you want to spend your money, there is going to be a problem. There is going to be a big, big problem for you and your existence and everything you hold dear and you have built. They're going to take everything away, take you away even, because that's definitely, most certainly going to really nip the problem away at the bud. So the key would be to, build outside of them, because literally when you build with them, you have all these shackles and hindrances, and you can't move how you want to move, you can't roll how you want to roll. And I know it really cannot be easy because people want to get places, and unfortunately they are really everywhere, like it's saturated with these people. So there is really no at the moment it's not going to be easy to want to boycott, especially when you want to go into the entertainment industry if you're like in America. So it's not going to be really easy. And I feel unfortunately it's even traveling down here because they are Nigerian artists, for example, and for them to go like really big, you really have to appease to like foreign audience. And if you are not rolling how they would want you to roll, that would mean you're not going to go as big as you could go, or you're not going to get as big as you could get. Say people like maybe Burna Boy or Wizkid, or which other one is there again that's really going mainstream now abroad. If they start to move a certain way, that would mean they're not going to get to those places. It's now going to be a decision of sacrificing your dreams, or a decision of are you going to settle for being, just little, or are you going to say you're going to be a sellout? So the really only option we have is for us to build for ourselves, because that way we have autonomy over everything, and then we get to control, and then they can't infiltrate. So when we grow ours and it's the big shots, we really would not need to be going outside, if you get what I mean. And then we're not going to be needing to take gifts from the devil, because like I've said in previous videos, it's really like the devil gifting you. You know how it is when the devil gifts, he gives you one thing, he's taking like multiple orders from you, and then he gives with conditions. If you don't do this, if you don't do that, really nothing like when the good Lord gives. Yeah, really nothing like that. So it's to stop accepting gifts from the devil at this point, and his conditions and his setbacks and shackles, limitations, hindrances. That's really the only way up and forward. It's not a coincidence that all the good guys that ever existed in Africa, all the good politicians and leaders that ever existed here, always mysteriously end up dead. But then somehow all the bad ones, the corrupt ones, are always, living to full term and more, taking extra lives from people here on the continent even. So guys, I just wanted to bring this video to you. There is something really sinister going on. I mean, it has been going on for forever at this point, and we need to be aware. We need to know what's going on, so we do know how to navigate through this very precarious, I always find it hard pronouncing that word. So we do know how to navigate through these dangerous times and this dangerous place we call home, because it truly is very dangerous. And yeah, the video I'm going to be posting, I think tomorrow, next tomorrow, that's going to be a very dangerous video. I do know that I see a strike coming in my near future. I see it with that one. I'm trying to make sure I censor that video as much as I can, so it could be safe to stay up, because we need that video up. We do need it. But like I said, I see a strike coming. Thank you very much for watching. Do let me know down below what your thoughts are, and I do hope, I implore you guys to please take these messages to heart. Let it not go through one ear and come out through the next. We do need to be pondering on these informations. We need to ponder, guys. So I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Hopefully, maybe that's going to be the dangerous one, I don't know, but I might take a while trying to edit it to make it safe, if you guys know what I mean, because I need it up, like I said. So bye. Do have a very, very, very lovely day.